Hi guys, today I am going to be doing a what sold in our antique booths for the month of February. So for anyone who is new to this video, Eric and I have two antique booths, both in the same mall. And when I do these videos, I kind of put up a picture of the item that sold when I have them. I think I am missing just one this time. And then I let you know what we had as our ticket price on said item. That doesn't include, you know, the 10% that we offer all of the time and that kind of thing. But just to give you an idea of what's selling in our booths and, you know, what we typically put as far as a price goes. Let's just get straight into it. So this is for the month of February. The first thing that we sold in February was a set of green Moon and Star glass candle holders. Those sold for $24. The next item was a vintage planter, and this was like Davy Crockett with his little rifle. That sold for $23. Then since this was February, there are going to be some Valentine cards in this video. I'm probably just gonna pop up a picture of just a general like little basket that I had our Valentine's Day cards in. I didn't take pictures of like every individual Valentine's Day card, but this person purchased 4 of my Valentine's cards and I had them priced at $3 a piece. Then we also sold an amber glass stars and bars fairy lamp for $20. You know what, the picture I have shows 2 and we sold both of them. So here it is again, amber glass stars and bars fairy lamp sold for $20. Those were 2 separate days. So I don't know if someone bought it and then came back in for the other one or if it was 2 separate people. I have no idea. Again, I'm going to post up that same picture with the basket. This next item was a vintage postcard. More than likely it was Valentine's Day themed, but I think I did have some Easter ones in there as well. But anyway, again, sold $3. Then let's see, we sold a Beaumont Brothers crock for $24. A uranium glass bowl that had the flower frog top, that sold for $79. Again, same picture of the basket. This next item was just an old photograph. I have like all sorts of little just ephemera pieces in those baskets, but again sold $3. We sold some garden flags. Our garden flags are pretty popular. The first 2, this might have been purchased, this person might have purchased 2 of these, but these ones had a frog on that said hippity hoppity get off my property. Those sold $10 a piece because we sold 2 of them. And then the next one was a Valentine's Day themed one with mushrooms that said love you so much. That one also sold for $10. Then we sold a set of 3 Honey and Me canisters, so like kitchen canisters. Those sold for $85 for the set. Then next item was 2, and I had these priced individually. They were vintage Hazel Atlas sherbet cups, white milk glass with like a red band around the edges. So 2 times, and we sold those for $6 a piece. Another garden flag of the hippity hoppity get off my property for $10. Those flags sold so quickly. Those were like the most popular ones out of the whole batch there. Then we sold a one of those stone glass trees, little like bonsai type trees. This one was a small version. I have sold real larger versions as well. I think we actually have one in the booth currently, but I've sold one before and I still have another one. That sold for $15. The next item was just a small pottery crock that sold for $6. Then I sold a lidded terracotta jar by a company called Formato that sold for $12. Then I sold 2 more vintage Valentine's Day cards, so $3 a piece for 2 of them. Sold a green Empoli glass snifter that sold for $40. This next item, we didn't get a picture of it, and it sold like as soon as we put it in. It was a little like trinket box shaped like a turtle by Bombay that sold for $10. Sold a little miniature glass teapot, just this little tiny guy, that sold for $9. Then, you guys remember in my last kind of update video of the booth, I kind of went over one of the shelves and took stuff off, and then I kind of made it more a little bit like a kitschy type area. I need to find more kitschy stuff because that stuff sells so quick for me, but it's so like hard to come by, right? So anyway, I redid that whole shelf, and then I sold like quite a few things after I, you know, did some rearranging and taking some things out and putting new stuff in kind of thing. So sold an Unesco cat sitting on a pillow. This was a salt and pepper shaker set that sold for $18. Then there was a little like like the textured sugared kitty cat that was wearing like a fancy hat that sold for $15. Then we sold 2 vintage chalkware banks. The first one was a tiger that sold for $14. And then there was a pink pig that sold for $10. Then the next item was this big-eyed lion by a company called Rossini. He sold for $20. Sold a little glass bluebird of happiness. These always sell too. That sold for $10. Next item is another lawn flag. I'm not entirely sure which one it was, so I'm just gonna pop up a picture of like all of the flags that were available during this time. Then this next item was kind of on the Christmas side, and we were thinking about taking it out because, you know, when I made that video, we were taking out like Christmas stuff, but we decided to keep it in because it was just like a bigger item, and we had it like sitting on top of one of the shelves, so it wasn't taking up space on any kind of, you know, other shelves because it was up higher. Anyway, it was a Longaberger basket, but it came with a wrought iron sleigh bottom, and then the basket sat on top. That sold for $49. Then keeping with the Longaberger, we also sold a 4-piece Longaberger basket canister set for $120. Quickly finding out that Longaberger sells pretty well in the booth. Also sold a Longaberger St. Patrick's Day themed basket. This was on the smaller side, sold for $22. I am picky though when it comes to Longaberger baskets, like when they come up at auctions or if I find them out thrifting or at yard sales. I'm super picky. I prefer ones that have the plastic liners, the fabric liners, and also be clean. Like a lot of times when you come across Longaberger baskets, sometimes they're all scratched up or they're just full of like caked on dust and stuff like that. So I'm real picky when it comes to picking up Longaberger baskets. So if you ever see me out and about while I'm recording and I don't pick up one, there's probably a reason why I didn't. Then we also, oh my gosh, so there was someone, Eric had posted, sometimes when we have really interesting things that are hard to come by, we will post them on like Facebook Marketplace, or in this instance, it was a Viking glass Facebook group. Eric made a post of these just to show them basically. And someone had seen them, and I swear, and I forgot to ask Eric before he just left, but I'm pretty sure this person lives in Arizona or something. I don't know. I know it's not close to me. I live in Pennsylvania. But for whatever reason, I think their husband was in the area, around the area for some reason, for maybe like a business thing or something. And she had him stop in at the mall and buy these birds for her. So, anyway, they purchased a lot of the good ones. These ones are the very harder to find colors. They're just rarer, like very, you know, you don't come across them super often. Hold on one second. Eric just texted me. I want to make sure everything's okay. He took Amelia out for a walk. Literally texted me to tell her that she went to the potty. Like, why? Okay, anyway, Viking glass birds, they purchased the one in the tea berry color for $295. There's a pink one that sold for, again, $295. Then the black one, which is super rare, sold for $390. And then they also purchased a frosted pink one, I believe it was, for $200. So that made the month pretty good, because those were some really like more expensive pieces that we had for sale. So that was exciting sales there. Then we also sold a little dollhouse miniature. This was a sewing machine, but it also came with other little miniatures, like little bowl of yarn and little scissors, things like that. I allotted all together, and that sold for $9. Let's see, we sold a bowl. This was really unique looking. It had like a diamond kind of print all around, by Yukakago. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. That sold for $15. I sold a vintage nut chopper for $10. Then this next item was by a company called Aardvark, and it was made out of soapstone. It was a squirrel. That sold for $12. I actually have an owl by this same company listed currently on eBay. I think I'm going to take that off and put it in the booth, because that actually sold very quickly. Let's see, we sold a Jim Shore Easter basket that had a whole bunch of like little eggs in. That sold for $39. Sold a blue small flower paperweight for $15. I'm not sure. Guys, sometimes like I'm looking at these things and I'm like, what was that? Like I don't remember what this was. It says it's a glass cat with 2 fish paperweight. Now, I know we have 2 paperweights in there that are cube shaped with fish, but I don't recall them being a cat. And then I had like, I'm pretty sure it was a Dynasty glass cat shaped paperweight with a fish in, but I feel like that just sold for this month. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to post up the picture of what I thought it was, but I don't think it is now. But anyway, it sold for $14. Then we also sold another Longaberger basket. This one was actually a really large tote bag. It was called the Boardwalk Beach Tote, and that one is a good one. That sold for $75. We sold, I'm sorry, like some of these pictures are really horrible. This one I know was extremely bad. It was a little small clear glass Scotty dog shaped candy container that sold for $6. Then we sold a cobalt blue glass rabbit. Like it was like a lidded canister basically. That sold for $20. We sold a plant mister that sold for $10. Oh, this next item was so gorgeous. This was actually a chair that was hand painted, and it had the person's name on the bottom, and I can't remember who it was. I looked it up just to see, but I think it was just like a local person kind of thing that just, you know, painted a chair for someone. You know, I don't think it wasn't anyone who is well known or anything like that, just someone with really nice artistic skills basically. So I won this chair at an auction. I feel like I paid $5 for it. I thought it was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I want this for the booth. This would be so cute in like a kid's room or something like that. Anyway, guys, we sell furniture every so often. A lot of the furniture that we do sell tends to be put on like Facebook Marketplace, just because we don't always have, you know, the kind of room in either of our booths to put furniture. Well, same with also with furniture. Eric and I were not used to selling furniture, so we have a hard time coming up with prices on furniture. Like, I had this, I think, when I was gonna bid on it at the auction, I had in my mind to sell it for like $30, because I'm like, I don't really know what a chair is gonna sell for, you know what I mean? And then like I was getting ready to like price my tag, and I'm like, this is such a nice chair. I feel like this chair is worth more than $30. Like, the more I look at it, I was like, I think I'm gonna put $40 on this chair instead of the 30. And Eric's like, I don't know, I think it might sit for a while. $40 seems kind of high for a chair. And I'm thinking, like, furniture is expensive. Like, this chair's probably worth even more than the $40 I'm putting on it, kind of thing. So I put the 40 on. Like I said, I only paid 5, so I still made a really nice profit. But again, like, I feel like it probably was worth more than even the 40 I put on. But I just don't know, like, the sweet spot for pricing furniture. What do you guys normally put on furniture? Like, if you were selling that chair, what would you put on it? Do you think $40 is a good price point? Like, that was good? Or do you think, like, that was way too low? Or do you think that was actually kind of high? I'd like to know in the comments, because that's one thing I think we struggle with when it comes to pricing things for the booth is furniture. Just really not sure where to go with it as far as a price point. Then let's see. But yeah, the chair sold for 40. Then we sold a vintage, this was a milk glass spice rack. It had the canisters as well as the little wooden rack. That sold for $29. Here's another garden flag. This one said, "For peeps' sake," so I had a little Easter peeps on, sold for $10. Then we sold a set of 2 Winking Pig salt and pepper shakers. Those sold for $12. I sold an UNESCO Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs dopey little figurine. That sold for $5. Next item was an old milk carrier, metal milk carrier with the wood handle. That sold for $22. And then the last thing that I have for the February was a set of 2 rabbits. These were just like little cloth primitive looking rabbits. Those sold for $7. So that is everything for the month of February that sold in the booth. I thought February was pretty good. Obviously those Viking birds really helped the month along. But so we're in March now, and I feel like sales are pretty good right now. Put in some like Easter stuff. I put in this really cute like wooden Easter carrot shaped little like wheelbarrow wagon. I thought was so adorable, one at the auction. So hopefully that sells this month. But you know, we are putting some new stuff in. I think on Thursday we're going to be going into the booth to restock. And I'm trying to think of anything else I really wanted to talk about as far as booth goes. But like I said, let me know about the furniture thing in the comments. I feel like everything else, we're pretty much on the same page as far as like price points on, you know, what we're listing things for in the booth. We do tend to look at, you know, like eBay sold and go from there, as well as if we're getting like a real good deal at the auction. Like if I'm buying something for $1, like I don't mind putting it in the booth for you know, way less than an eBay sold, since I barely paid anything for it. So just more like quick, you know, quick in, quick out type of things. So I do like to have those things, but I also like love having just really when I can find this stuff, just really unique, really maybe on the rare side or just that kind of thing. So like when we post up a picture of like stuff that we have on like our Facebook page for our booth, you know, to like draw people in, like, well, this is interesting, you know what I mean? And those of you who have been watching like our what sold in our booth videos, you tend to see some, I think, like interesting type of stuff here and there that we come across. So yeah, there are still some like real fantastic furniture pieces I would absolutely love to put in the booth, just don't really have the space for it right now. So those are pieces that maybe might have to go you know, onto Facebook Marketplace. You had seen that like retro table and chairs in that one video. We still have that we haven't done anything with. Once the weather starts getting warmer, we'll probably pull those out, get that all cleaned up, and probably post that on Facebook Marketplace. But we also have this really amazing MCM red couch. I'm gonna pop up a picture of that. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. So that still needs to be, you know, sold. So that might go into Facebook Marketplace as well, because I just don't know if we'll be able to fit it in either of our booths. But that's pretty much everything for this video. Hopefully everyone's booth sales are doing really well for this year. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else, because I always remember something like after I turn my camera off, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see you next time.